You want to come on? There we go. My doggy. You leave. Hello. Hi, ladies. Whoever's watching the replay, welcome. Welcome to the video. And hello. There he goes. I'm just waiting to see if anybody else is going to pop on. It is Saturday when I'm filming this. I think it's around 5 o'clock Pacific time. I think. I don't even know. And I was just reading some comments on, in this group, Women Creating Healthy Lives. So if you're watching this video, not within the group Women Creating Healthy Lives, that is my Facebook community. It's free for women over 40. Come and join me there. I help women go through the midlife phase and beyond. It's really about living healthy, happy, mind, body, spirit in midlife, going through the change and beyond, dealing with the symptoms, dealing with some of the things that go on in your body, the hormones, understanding it all and learning ways to navigate through it and to get through it feeling so much better. Now, what I want to talk about is some of the questions that people have been asking within this group. Because I usually I say welcome to the new members. And so if you're watching live or replay, make sure you can ask your questions or comment below. And I just want to touch on a few things. Of course, I can't give all the answers because, oh my God, there's just not enough time. And I think that is what some people, when they ask a question, they kind of are thinking it'll be like an answer. There's one answer to sleep better. There's one answer to lose weight, things like that. And it's not. There's not just one answer, and it's not just super simple and easy. The thing is it's not hard. So what I want the women to understand here is that it really, 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 truly is mind, body, spirit. So if you're somebody who has never worked on your mindset or worked on spiritual practices, any type of relaxation tips, spending time for you. So if you've never put yourself first, if you think that's selfish, if you do everything for everybody else and you think that, I really can't do anything for myself. I'm just going to wait until, right? Wait until I retire. Wait until I have more time. Wait until whatever. You're not used to taking care of yourself, right? So if you're a woman like that, which many, many women are, then you definitely are going to have some challenges during this phase of life. And I believe so much that this phase of life, whatever you go through in this phase of life, is a reflection of the things you haven't worked with or worked on or that you haven't done for yourself, right? It's kind of like our body is saying to us that now you need to start taking better care of yourself. It is you time, right? And so what happens is the resistance comes up as in, I don't have time. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I don't want to make the changes, on and on, right? All this resistance and kind of like this panic and this, because it's hard to face all these changes and for our body to not be working the way it used to, and what used to work doesn't work anymore, right? It's hard because we're like, my life is already busy. I've already got a lot going on. Now you want me to learn, to study, to find ways to deal with these things that are going on in my body. How am I supposed to have time to do this? And I'm not very good with change, and I don't know if I want to do it, and what if I have to give up all the things I love? What if I can't have my wine? What if I can't go out with the girls and have a drink? What if I can't go out for supper? I don't want to give up my ice cream. I don't want to give up my bread. I don't want to give up a muffin, right? Like all these things. And so when we are thinking that we need to make a change, our mind goes to what we will probably lose or have to give up, because that's what we know. We can usually know, right? Women will probably say, oh God, so if I have to start losing weight now, I know, this is what we're saying, right? I know I have to give up my candy, I have to give up my wine, I have to give up my coffee, which you don't, but anyways, I have to give up the food I love, I have to exercise 5 days a week, right? Your mind goes to all these things, either what you have to give up or the things you have to do that you don't want to do, right? So of course you're going to avoid it. Of course you're not going to deal with it. And this is why what happens when women say all of a sudden, they're like, oh my God, I've gained 10, 20, 30 pounds. like almost shocked and almost like it happened overnight. No, it didn't happen overnight, but it feels that way because it's just you kind of avoided doing the things you knew you probably should do, but it's also how you are thinking about it, right? So, it's all to how we are raised, society, the way they think about it, society thinking that it's good and wonderful to do things for others first, right? You've probably heard, always do things for others first. Think of others first before yourself, right? That is all wrong. That is where society has gone wrong. That is why we have so many people on antidepressants. We have so many people who are addicted to substances. We have so many people who are not happy because society has been telling us that we are not worthy of being happy, joyful, living the life we want. We need to think of others first. We are not worthy to be thought of first. Don't take care of yourself. Take care of others first, right? It's crazy. That is something that bothers me more than anything. And I really believe it is that the root of so much. Thanks for that. Because then when a health issue arises or these symptoms arise or the weight gain arises and we know, oh my God, I need to now take time for me to do these things. What happens is these old beliefs, patterns, things from inside of us, the way we were raised, the things people say, all of a sudden it's like, you can't take time for yourself. You can't stop doing things for others. You can't put yourself as a priority. You can't spend time. You can't spend money on yourself. You're crazy. That's not right. Right? So then we have this conflict inside of us from like going, oh my God, like I crave time for myself. I crave doing things that bring me joy. I desire this. I want to hire someone to help me. But then the other part of us is like, you can't do that. That's selfish. That means you're not a good person. You have kids, you have a husband, you have parents you got to take care of. You don't have money for that. You don't deserve that. You are good enough. Stop complaining. Suck it up. Think of others first, right? And this is what is so wrong. So, and why people tend to eat and binge and emotionally, the whole thing emotionally, stressed. I'm emotional. I emotionally eat. I eat when I'm stressed. Why you do that is because what are you emotional about? What are you stressed about? Often it's because you have never taken the time, like you don't have downtime for you. When you're at a stressful situation at work or something, and then you come home and you feel like you don't have downtime or time to do things that bring you joy, or that you're frustrated because you have to work in a job you don't like, and then you go home and you have to clean and you have to organize and do all this and then get up and do the whole day again. Every day's the same, doing the same thing. Things that you don't want to do, you don't like to do. You feel like you're just surviving, you're not thriving for sure, right? That is why women emotionally eat and eat when stressed. Don't lose the weight. Oh, watch them in the Bahamas. Welcome, Audrey. Don't lose the weight. Can't start, procrastinate, give up, sabotage, right? All these feelings of either like low self-worth or total beliefs. This looks funny on me. Total beliefs that, as women, we need to spend our time taking care of everybody else. How dare we think that we're our life, especially if you have a good life, right? You could have a good life, a nice house, a nice husband, a good job, a nice car, but you're not happy, right? You're not happy, yet you feel this can't be real. I should stop being so selfish and stop thinking I need to change my life. My life is great. Most people would be so happy to have my life. What's wrong with me? Why don't I feel happy? Why don't I feel fulfilled? Right? There is always a reason. So what happens is when you believe you have no right to feel unhappy or unfulfilled, when you believe you shouldn't need to feel you need a change in your life, then you're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to feel ashamed. You're going to feel guilty. And of course, that leads to other things, right? To us thinking we're not good enough, which just leads to us treating our body not good. Or doing the binging or drinking too much wine or addictive substances because that's the only way you can get some sort of pleasure in your life. Or it helps you not to think about things that you're trying to avoid, right? Like, I want to change. I want to do something different. I want something better for my life, right? So there's so much that's going on in midlife, and I believe that it is a calling to us. It is telling us to make changes. It is opening us up and bringing out awareness that we are entering a new phase of your life. Do you want to live the same life, the same day over and over and over again for the rest of your life? Or are you ready now to start making some changes, doing things that bring you more joy, taking care of yourself, honoring, respecting, and loving your body? And when you truly does that, somebody who truly loves, honors, and respects their body takes care of their body. There is no, I just don't have time to eat healthy. I just don't know what to eat. I just don't know. Those are all excuses. Anytime you say things like that, that is an excuse, because there is so much information out there, right? I do programs, and I do programs that help women through this phase learn exactly what will work for the eating part of it, learn some stress reduction, learn how better coping skills, learn to understand what's going on in your body, learn how to reframe and shift your thoughts, right? Your thoughts and the words and the beliefs, and see what beliefs are true, see which beliefs are, those are the ones that are keeping you back, holding you back. Those are the beliefs that are sabotaging you. Those are the beliefs. This is why you're probably not losing the weight, right? Why you're dealing with this. And another one is sleeping, which, yes, not sleeping well, because it's a hormone problem, right? Hormones control that. That is why. But I want people to know that if you are not sleeping well, there are things you can do, but I can't tell you because I don't know you unless you take one of my programs, right? I would have to know what you're eating, what type of stress you have in your life, what you've been through, like illnesses, sicknesses, if you're on any medications and stuff like that. That is such a tight one, but it is hormones. So if you have, just to say, if you have high cortisol, which is your stress hormone, so you're under consistent stress, even if you may not feel that stressed, just consistent stress for a long period of time, your cortisol levels are high, you'll be gaining weight, you'll probably be really tired anyways, but also your melatonin levels will be low. So that's what helps you to sleep. So usually the most common reason is because you're under consistent stress. Also, you're not giving yourself time during the day to do some breathing or grounding or sitting within your body. And especially you're not doing that before you go to bed. So sometimes it takes practices and just little tools, techniques, and practices before you go to bed and things throughout the day, as well as eating better, like eating right, like decreasing some of the foods that may cause the greater hormone imbalances in your body, eating more foods that help to feed your glands to produce the hormones so that they function better, making sure you're eating enough of those foods and getting good supplements. Then your body will come back into better balance, as well as decreasing the stress. And when your body comes back into better balance, everything works. So it's not like you do just one thing. That's why I work with mind, body, spirit in my programs, because it must be all of them. So for somebody who's saying, well, I just don't have time, there's just no way, you will never lose the weight then. You will never make changes in your life. Stop the excuses. Stop thinking it's hopeless. But I get it. When you feel stressed, overwhelmed, panicked, right? Because you feel you cannot make changes in your life, right? That's when you're at, let's say, the worst part of it, right? But that's also, you are keeping yourself there by choosing to continually think those same thoughts. It's not hopeless. You are not hopeless. You are not helpless. Yes, you can absolutely 100% make changes in your life that'll help bring your body back into better balance. It doesn't matter what you think in this moment of how impossible that would be. And you thinking that it's impossible is going to keep it impossible, right? So that's another thing we look at in all my programs is the way you think about it, the way you talk about it, your beliefs around what's possible, what people say around you, right? So if you're with girlfriends all the time that talk about how they can't sleep, that talk about how there's no way you can lose weight in midlife, who talk about how, well, of course we're just going to indulge in wine, and of course I eat when I'm stressed, of course I do. That's everybody does, right? So who are you surrounded by? What are you hearing most of the time? What are you saying most of the time? What are you thinking most of the time? How are you treating yourself? What do you think about yourself? Right? Are you honoring your body, or are you fighting your body? Are you fighting your body, right? So what we resist persists. So if you're continually looking at the weight you've gained and going, oh my God, I'm so fat, my belly's so fat, I hate it, it feels terrible. Look at this fat, I'm never gonna lose the weight. My pants don't fit, I just look horrible, I don't even wanna look in the mirror. Oh my God, this is so hard. That focus keeps you in that exact same situation, because you're telling your body, your mind, the universe, everything, every cell in your body, you are telling it the way it is and affirming and confirming that that's the way it is. So your body's going to say, yes, this is the way it is, right? So it's like when you have a bit of a cold, when you go to a restaurant, the waitress or the server comes up to you and asks you what you want. You don't say food, right? You don't say food. Or you don't say, I'm so hungry. Oh my God, I'm just so hungry, right? You have to tell her what you desire, what you want. You have to tell the server what you want for the server to go there, know what you want, bring it back to you. Your body, the universe, God, source, yourself, the inner you needs to know what you desire. That's how you get what you want. If you continually talk what you don't want, what do you think you're going to get? More of what you don't want, right? That's part of the mindset thing. Plus also noticing how you think and the patterns of behavior, the patterns of thought that lead to, of course, the actions, behaviors, habits that keep you in a cycle of repeating the same thoughts, the same words, the same actions, the same habits over and over again. And that's right when you go, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep sabotaging? Why do I always eat when I'm stressed? Those are like the cycles and the loops you're caught in, because you keep yourself caught in them by not working on changing them, right? So when women say, I just want to lose weight, you can in midlife. I did. All my clients do. But you also need to realize that you are the person now that's created the life you have now. So the person you are and have been in the past has created what you are experiencing in your reality right now. Your weight gain, your thoughts, either feeling depressed, feeling happy, feeling down, feeling stuck, feeling stressed, right? If you don't change within, how are you going to create a different result? You won't. You can't get a different result by being the same person. So that's why you can buy recipe books, take them home, make new recipes, but will you stick with it and actually lose the weight? I'd say no. Otherwise, we'd have a lot of people, a lot of women who have had huge success just by following a recipe book, and we know that's not true, right? It's because there needs to be changes inside of you. So that's the mind, body, spirit, the body, mind, spirit, whatever, that go on while you are making changes, like taking actions, changing your habits. So it's a work, the body, mind, spirit, right? Feeding your body the right foods for you, understanding why and getting to know yourself and what works good for you. Loving the foods. Every woman who's taken my program absolutely loves the food, and they learn to love healthy food. So learning that whole process, right? taking the action, doing the work, trying those things, and then feeling the difference. Oh my God, like my cravings are gone. In 1 week, your cravings will be greatly decreased. In 1 week, you will have more energy. You know, you will notice things so fast when you begin to make the right changes for you during this phase of life. And that is when you begin to eat the right foods and let go of the foods that cause the weight gain, decrease your energy and all that in midlife. And so you're bringing in a lot of really good healthy foods that are nutritious. They feed your glands, which produce the hormones, so your body's functioning better, right? And then you learn techniques, tools, practices and stuff, and are conscious of your stress levels, find new ways to cope other than having 3 glasses of wine at night, and begin to take time during the day in little bits here and there to be conscious, decrease the stress, relax more in your body, honor yourself more, right? Like saying, I am deserving, learning to love yourself, respect yourself, putting yourself as a priority, getting all your headspace around that, knowing it's totally fine, it's totally okay, you deserve it. Every single person in the world deserves to put themselves as a priority and live their best life. If every single person took full responsibility for their own life, wouldn't the world be an amazing place? For their own life, their own happiness. Now, we can't change someone else. If they choose not to be healthy, happy, or whatever, that's their choice. You also have a choice, right? So remember that if you take full responsibility for your health, wellness, everything, you are also showing other people this is really truly the way we all need to do it, because we're each individual people, right? We can support and help each other, but you're not going to force or try to change someone else, right? It's all about so be the person who shows the way. And also for your kids, for the people that are watching you, I mean, you wouldn't want to raise kids showing them that their mother didn't honor herself, didn't respect herself, didn't spend time on herself, didn't think she was worthy, right? How do you think you're showing them? They're going to think, oh my God, do I have to be like that when I'm an adult? I don't want to be an adult then. I don't want to have that type of a life. I don't want to feel like I have no time for myself, that I have to give everything to everybody else, that I'm exhausted at the end of the day, that I have to work a job I hate, that I have to serve other people and leave myself last, right? That is just not the way. We have to stop the cycle. All right, that was a little side rant. Do you guys have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? But yeah, I really want to raise awareness that, is that Benita? Hello? That there are, oh my God, every woman who takes my program has positive changes by far. And always usually realizes the food part is the easy part. The part that most women struggle with is giving themselves permission to actually value themselves and know, yes, I deserve time for this. I deserve to treat my body good. I deserve to feed my body healthy. I deserve to have time for joy. I deserve to have time for me, right? Because that's a whole mindset shift compared to how we were raised usually. And then to actually follow that through with habits and consistent behaviors, changing the way you think about yourself, you think about others, you think about your day, right? All that stuff can happen fast. It just takes the little bit of guidance, right? So in my groups, I'm going to have a new 21-day group coming up called The Shift. And what I do is I do live video trainings, kind of like this in a private Facebook group, but we're very specific, okay? And I also help you work through your issues or challenges, whether it's food, stress, mindset, how to deal with family members, how to deal with whatever, right? So we go through that for usually 3 live training videos a week, and then you get all the recipes, you get handouts. So you take it at a pace that is right for you, because it's all learning. It's all starting from where you are, awakening and awareness as to, oh, okay, I see why, right? I understand this better now about myself, where I'm at. So you're getting to learn more about yourself. You're actually taking time for you. And you're also surrounded by women who are doing the same, who are going through a lot what you are going through. It's supportive. It's very, very, very fun, very grounded group. Really, we inspire each other. And it's a safe space. Safe space. You get help with your food too by posting your food, basically. Oh, let me see what you just said, Rebecca. I'm going to ask you to explain that. Does anyone else go through emotional triggers as they start getting more healthy? Can you be a little more specific? Or lack of appetite? Lack of appetite may not be lack of appetite. It means if you are eating more nutritionally dense foods, your body's fuller. It's getting what it needs. And for that, it could be that your body knows that it needs to detoxify, so it doesn't need to eat a lot of stuff right now. Because as you rest your digestive system, your body's able to then use the energy to help you detoxify. Okay, so that's very common, yes. Can you explain a little bit more about the emotional triggers when you start getting more healthy? I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure. Does that mean you feel the need to all of a sudden then sabotage? Or you're being triggered by other people? Or your emotions are going up and down and you're wanting to pull yourself back into old habits, which is very, very common. So yeah, let me know a little bit about that and then I can help you. And if anybody else has any more questions. It's funny, I'll just continue. Rebecca, you just write whatever and I'll help you with that. And I'm just going to talk for a little bit here. The thing is that, oh my God, right? Like actually this health coaching or kind of coaching like this is very new and women are not used to getting help with anything, right? We have, I know I for sure wasn't. I was always the type to like to have control. I wanted to do everything for myself. I thought it was weak to ask for help. I was always very stubborn. Needed to do everything for myself. I would always say to guys, I can do everything. I don't need a guy in my life to do anything for me, right? So we can come from that aspect. But then when you go through this midlife change and it's a whole different, your body's changing so much. You're like, I have no idea what to do. All right? It's like, then you're going to this, what am I supposed to do? Yes. Okay, good. Yeah. More emotional would probably be your hormones, Rebecca. It's definitely because you're 44. It's definitely your hormones. You're in perimenopause. And that causes the emotions, right? So know that's a wild wave to ride. And the best thing to do is it's just kind of like also telling you the inner work is now, right? When we're in our 20s and 30s, we're really busy with our life, our outside life, the physical us, the outside life, the physical us, kids, whatever. When you go through the midlife change, it is an inner journey. The midlife change is truly about an inner journey. It's about getting to know ourselves now as we become these new people. It's about finally saying, hey, what's coming up for you? What's rising up for you? What's behind the emotions? What are you really feeling? What are you denying yourself? What are you telling yourself about yourself? What do you really feel about yourself? What do you really believe about yourself? It's kind of like being in PMS always, right? Whatever was bothering you or under the whole thing is going to come up to be released and dealt with. And it's going to explode. It's going to be like whatever was down there that you weren't listening to, the little voice that what's your soul telling you that maybe you were saying, I don't have time for that. I can't do it. I'm not good enough for that. All of that's going to come up too. And it's going to say, hit you right in the face and go, it's time for you to deal with all this, right? I mean, we are really becoming like the wise women, the sage. Time for us, time for us to make our whatchamacallit. Leslie, just wish my friends could be themselves. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Leslie. What do you mean? I have not heard that. Do you mean they are pretending they're not going through this phase of life? Is that what you mean? Because that's common. Yeah, so it's like, Rebecca, it's so much to do with emotions, the hormones. But I believe that, so when our body is in better balance, when we are working body, mind, spirit, then our body is able to stay in better balance. But when one area of our life is not great, our body's not in balance, right? And it's exaggerated in midlife. So if you haven't dealt with your soul desires, right? Your core values, you're living kind of out of alignment with how you really would like to live, you're stressed to the max because of work, so you're not treating your body good, that's going to come up in a big way. It's like your body's going to say, hey lady, it's yelling at you, right? You are not doing something right. Like, you need to change this aspect of your life. Don't you see it's out of balance? What are you going to do about it? Right? What are you going to do about it? We can no longer say, just slough it off and go, everything will be better tomorrow. I don't have time to deal with it. I'm just going to let it go, right? How long do we have to go through this life? You mean middle age phase? Well, that is as long as you keep it out of balance. So when I talk about bringing your body back in better balance, requires you to deal with your body, mind, and spirit, which is your body, the food, exercise, treating it well, feeding it good fuel so that the hormones can actually be produced properly. Then decreasing the stress, managing your stress, your coping skills, your thoughts, words, all of that. And then your spirit, taking time for you, maybe doing some meditating, doing some breathing, doing some yoga, some movement to move the energy through your body to help balance the systems of your body, right? So when you're working on those things, Bonita, your body comes back to balance faster and better. If you don't work on those things, it won't. It's just going to stay out of balance, right? It's going to stay out of balance. That's just it. It doesn't even matter what age you are at. It's going to stay out of balance if you're not working towards keeping it in better balance. If you're not fueling, feeding, respecting, and loving all those aspects of yourself. And, our society now has gone wacko because it's almost like women don't have time for that. It's like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. This is what's important in life. Working like crazy, having a job that pays you a certain amount of money, making sure you own your home, have a mortgage, have 2 cars, have nice furniture, have nice clothes. All of those things are not important and they do not contribute to your wellness. If you're a person who loves your home, yes, you know what I mean. But I mean this whole striving, thinking we're caught, we need to stay in this job we don't love, I need to do this for so-and-so, I need to do this for myself, yet none of it makes you feel good. That's wrong. That's wrong. We need to change that. And I think that this midlife, when your body becomes so out of balance that you feel horrible, you can't sleep, you're super stressed, you're emotionally eating, you're stressed eating, you've gained tons of weight, you have acid reflux, you have digestive problems, your emotions are all over the place. Every time your body gives you a symptom, that's a sign it is trying to tell you something. And the longer you ignore its messages, the worse things will get, right? Oh, you're so welcome, Rebecca. I'm doing a new 21-day program soon. It's going to be amazing. My 21-day programs are absolutely so great. They're done in private Facebook groups. And you get all the recipes too, you get handouts and all that. I'm working on all this now. Beautifully said. Perfect, Rhonda. Way to go. Yes. And so when I went through this phase of life, so I'm somebody who's always been like, if I can't figure something out, I'm going to freaking look for the answer, right? That's been me. I love learning. I love studying things and learning about the health and wellness, always have. And so when I hit I was always a personal trainer. I was a yoga instructor. And I was into adventure racing and mountain biking and mountain running. And I was super fit in my 30s and 40s. And then I began perimenopause, and like my whole life changed. Everything went crazy. I was very hyper. I never sat still. I was into extreme workouts. And so that was stress. Even though in my 30s and early 40s, I can handle it because that's when your hormones are better balanced, right? So my body could handle it then. But when I started to get into the phase of hormones doing that, it affected everything. My digestive system got really bad. I ended up in adrenal fatigue, so extremely exhausted, extremely tired, bonked, hit the wall, got injuries like crazy, couldn't work out anymore, had to stop doing most of the things I was doing, was hugely emotional, cried all the time, had memory problems. I was screwed. I didn't know what was going on and so I went to research what's going on. And when I realized it was perimenopause, because I was only 43, I thought, I'm way too young. My doctor said I was too young. They thought I was crazy. But I was like, no, my body's not supposed to be like this. I know how I felt, and I know how I feel now. And so when I began to research all about hormones, how they affect our body, and then really got into the food aspect of it, like the nutrition aspect of it, it just opened up my eyes. I learned, oh my God, no one tells us about this. So this, you guys, was 13 years ago, okay? No one was talking about it. There was not even YouTube really, and there was no Facebook. So I had to read books, and I had to read and study and do the best I could that way. And it took me years to tweak, change, research, change me. I got down to a weight, I was in my 20s, I got down to like less than 100 pounds. I'm really tiny. So I lost the weight, right? I gained the weight, I lost the weight. I felt amazing. Everything just changed. Like I just got myself into feeling so good. And I thought, wow, I was able to go from feeling really bad to feeling really good. But what I did was I kept changing my life until it kept getting better. I didn't say, oh my God, I am not going to change what I eat. I don't have time to go shopping. I don't have time to make recipes. I don't have time to breathe. I don't have time to do yoga. I don't have time to meditate. Oh my God. No, I said, what would feel really good now? How can I do this for myself? I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling emotional. What can I do? Energy work, acupuncture, breathing, meditation. I stopped saying yes to things. I stayed home a lot by myself. I had a bath every night. I read spiritual books nonstop. I listened to anything I could get my hands on about mindset, loving yourself, nutrition too. I changed how I ate. I kept trying new things over and over again until I found what worked for me, right? I took supplements. I got into super powders. I went really high raw. I did everything I could, but it was over years, right? Like, so it was a process. It was like, I'm not going to give up on myself. I'm going to figure out, and then I'm going to help women, right? I'm going to help women. And that's what I do. That's why I do what I do. It's because I'm like, I'm going to find out what's going on in the body at this phase of life. For one, at that time, very few people were talking about it. Why didn't I know anything about this? What can I do about it? So I went on bioidentical hormones too. I took tons of supplements. It took me a while, but now I do 21-day programs, you guys, 3 weeks. What took me years, you can begin to work on in 3 weeks. Why? Because I've been doing this for so many years, because I know. And so like a lot of women continue with my programs because it's like, it's maintenance. You keep living a healthy life. You keep working on these aspects of yourself. You continue to grow, to learn, to respect yourself, to love yourself, to give yourself time to learn more about yourself, to tune into you, to tune into your body. It's ongoing, but it's good and it feels good, right? that's the thing. These things can feel so amazing when you know, you're like, this feels right. Oh my God, this is what I needed. This is good, right? And that's the way all the women feel. It's like, oh my God, I'm finally doing things that feel good for my body, that feel good for the inner me, that makes sense to me. Yes, I do deserve to have time for myself. I do deserve to be healthy. I want to stop this craziness that I've been living my life. There are changes I can make. Getting, in alignment with your core values and how you really desire to live your life, right? Really allowing yourself and giving yourself permission, time, and space to do that for yourself. How many women do that? None, unless they're in programs or doing coaching. They really don't. Most women will not do it for themselves because they're too surrounded by this crazy environment where people are super stressed, where it's normal to work so many hours, where it's normal to do everything, where it's normal to put yourself last, where it's normal just to be heavy in midlife and continue to gain weight because, well, there's nothing we can do about it. To continue to say, well, I'm certainly not going to give up my muffins, or I'm just addicted to sugar, I'm just addicted to my wine, I just want to do this forever, right? It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, we don't realize how crazy it is until you get into an environment where the people aren't doing that. And then you're like, oh my God, you mean we don't have to live that crazy ass life? It's like nuts. And the women in my program, they don't leave their jobs or leave their, you can, but it's more about, I get to sit back, take 10 minutes right now, and just do some breathing and sinking into my body. I get to say no to things that I don't want to do anymore, that are too crazy, or I get to let go of this control and let someone else do some other things and empower other people to take over their life, right? To not have to solve everybody's problems, right? So much about that. Oh, my foot. A lot of us are going through health problems, yeah, and maybe we can't do yoga. Ouch. You can always do something different, Juanita. You can always do something better. I'm not sure what your health problems are. I think they're thyroid problems, but there's lots of things you can do for thyroid problems. You can eat healthy if you have a thyroid. You should be eating healthy if you have a thyroid problem. If you have diabetes, you should be eating healthy. Oh my God, absolutely. And you may not realize there's things like yoga called restorative yoga. There's yoga for people with disabilities. There's yoga for people with certain things. You don't have to do yoga. You can do something else, right? So it's about finding, it's also, don't wait for someone else to show you or tell you what to do. You need to find what's going to work for you. Empower yourself. And that's also what so much is about, right? It's like women really saying, I am in charge of my health and wellness. I get to find things out that are going to work for me. I get to, right? You can